young people to have mentors to know who to turn to and write to.
So hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm with Caitlin Ochana, the reigning Miss Uganda UK, and I'm going to have a discussion with her about her dreams and aspirations for the future. So I hope you'll be inspired by this conversation. Hello Caitlin.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi.
so talk to us just a bit about the experience of winning Miss Uganda and what that entailed.
So as soon as they said contestant number 1, which was my number, I was really shocked because I didn't expect me to win. One being the youngest contestant ever. I was only 17 when I won. So I didn't think that the judges would allow such a young person to take on this role, because this role is really big. And also contestant number 3 and contestant number 2, they were second place and they were third place. So I didn't think now contestant number 1 will take on the crown and sash, because I was okay with the mini award. So as soon as they said my name, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. So it was really overwhelming, but it was such a humbling experience, because prior and even after to winning Miss Uganda UK, the support from my family and friends and the contestants was just so nice, and like it kind of reassured me that throughout this journey I'm not just doing it alone. I have an army of people who are going to support me to the very end. So overall, I'd say it was overwhelming, but in a positive way.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear. And I just wanted to ask, so what are the steps that entail before you won? How did the competition happen, and how did you even sign up to it yourself?
Okay, so firstly, I came across Miss Uganda UK through my Explore page. This was year 12, so it's coming summer holidays. I was kind of bored. I was scrolling through Instagram and I happened to come across the application on the Miss Uganda UK Instagram page. And it said 2 days until the deadline for the pageant. So I said to myself, in 2 days' time, it's going to close. This summer, I want to do something impactful, because it's, 6 on that transition from year 12 to year 13. I want to make sure it's filled with, not just going out. I want to do something meaningful. So I applied. I didn't really think they were going to look at my application because I didn't see it as something serious. 2 weeks later, they got back to me. They said, congratulations, you become a finalist. The application process overall was surprisingly quick. I expected it to be just above over 2 weeks. And then after that, I think July, because I applied around May, June. July, we had the registration day, and that's when you get to see all the other contestants for the first time. And you get to see the previous queen, the current queen at the time. And you get to ask her questions about the pageant process, all that stuff. And so after that, I think a week later, we start the actual rehearsals for the actual night, which was 13 weeks. And you learn how to walk in heels, you learn how to talk, you learn how to present yourself in public spaces, you learn about your culture. So it was very different for me. It was a very different environment, because me as a tall girl, I don't really like walking in heels. So when now I have to be the extra tall person in the room walking heels, like my posture always has to be, on point. So that was kind of hard. It was tough, but I got there at the end because I got this, as you can see. And also throughout this journey, for me, I kind of explored another level of self-confidence, because prior to joining Miss Uganda UK, the competition, I was already a confident person, but I didn't really know how confident I was until I was put into like very alien situations. For example, speaking at events, because we had to do appearances at charity events, speaking at events, telling them why I want to apply, why I want to win. Just kind of stepping back and saying to myself, wow, you kind of stepped out of your own comfort zone and you've done that. So self-confidence was something that I really did discover during my journey.
So you've spoken now about self-confidence, and of course it's a beauty pageant, so beauty is important to winning, but you've also spoken about public speaking and charity work. Which do you think was more important to you as Miss Uganda?
So as Miss Uganda, the current Miss Uganda UK, I feel like it's more charity work and public speaking than your beauty. Even our even our slogan for Miss Uganda UK, it says it's more than a beauty pageant. Your beauty contributes about what 10-20%, which is literally on the night where where you put your makeup on just to look presentable. You have to physically change your appearance. In terms of your physical appearance, you have to be that typical model. Our pageants are not that typical where you have to look like a Barbie and be skinny and tall. It's about what you bring to the table. How are you going to use this platform to advocate what you're passionate about? That's the ultimate kind of goal and aim with Miss Uganda UK. So I would definitely say public speaking and charity work was more important and is more important than your beauty, because winning this, I have to go to events, dinners, and speak in front of people about how I'm going to use this platform to kind of speak on issues within our community. Charity work is something that as a pageant, we work closely with people in Uganda. For example, we have child sacrifice. It's a massive issue in Uganda, and we are campaigning to kind of educate children on the importance of why child sacrifice is such a wrong kind of thing to do in today's society. So I'll definitely say charity work and public speaking is way more important than your beauty.
So you've just spoken about child sacrifice. Can you just describe briefly what that is?
So in Uganda, when in certain areas, very where there's high poverty, families will unfortunately either sell. It will normally be girls or even young kids. They will just sell their children off in order to get economic gain, for example, money. It can result into selling off their children and they'll never see them again, or it can result into killing their children in return of money. And that's a massive issue because we live in the 21st century where children, you cannot steal their childhood no matter what your situation is. And we, as a kind of like a company, as a brand, we go to Uganda as well as here in this country. We go and we kind of educate people and just raise awareness on child sacrifice and how we can prevent this as a community.
Wow. The reason why I find that so profound is that in London, we often hear about certain issues, for example, knife crime is prevalent, etc. But we never hear about things such as child sacrifice. So how did you even get involved with that in the first place?
Yeah, so Miss Uganda UK, they've been campaigning for child sacrifice for years, even before I even came across the pageant. So when you obviously apply, if you want to have your own charity and support a charity, you can, but if you don't, it's not an issue because Miss Uganda UK, whether you win or not, we always have the child sacrifice campaign for you. So I came across this campaign through Miss Uganda UK, and it's very interesting to kind of see and know that this is happening in my country, and the fact that it's happening to children. It really is heartbreaking if you generally just look at the videos and discuss it with the team. So that's how I came across child sacrifice.
Wow. See, that is very touching to me. But not only do you work with child sacrifice, you also work with sports. So can you please tell me a bit more about that?
Yes. So with my title, because I'm a very sporty person, I do track on the side. I just love running, and how it has impacted my health physically and mentally. In terms of like physically, my asthma, I kind of use sport as a way to improve my asthma, improve my health, and mentally as well. I use sport as an escape, escape from reality. So with this title, with this platform, I hope to raise awareness on the importance of sports for girls and how it can impact us girls mentally and physically. Girls in Uganda, they're in boarding schools and they don't really have family and friends to talk to when they're sad or when they're feeling down, and that could hinder their mental health. So I want to go to them and say, if you're feeling down, you can use sport as a way of helping you get out of this situation, as well as speaking about your situation. That's the only, just educating, to raising awareness on the importance of sport. Yeah.
Wow. And you're also head girl at your secondary school. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. So throughout, I think I can take it back to primary school. Throughout primary school, throughout secondary school, I've always been a leader, whether it be the leader of the table, whether it be sports leader, whether it be the leader of like the netball team. I've always been that figure in school to always like and to be a leader essentially.
Mm.
So when I was in secondary school, I've always wanted to become head girl, not just because of like the title, but because I've had this relationship with the younger years prior to sixth form, and I really wanted to kind of use the head girl platform to kind of get closer with the younger years and kind of educate them outside of the typical subjects. For example, we had this thing called the chilling chat room, where the head students as well as the leadership team, we come together and we kind of invite, let's say, 2 or 3 students ranging from year 7 to year 9, and they can come to us and they can talk about any issues. You know, if they're feeling down, if any concerns, if they need help with homework, we'll be there to help them. And I feel like the idea of helping someone, whether it be one person, whether it be 5 people, that for me felt right. Having the head girl title just felt so right. It was hard to get the title because I was up with one other girl. She was amazing. She actually ended up being head of the leadership team, and we had a shared title, and I ended up being head of student voice as well. So being head girl was amazing. Obviously, it got cut short, unfortunately, due to this pandemic. But I hope to go back to my school one day and still carry on this title. Just because I finished school doesn't mean that title's also finished as well. So I really hope to go back and just be with the younger students again.
Wow. See, like, that is very profound. You have so many projects that you're involved in. So my question now is, how do you balance all of that?
So in school, after winning Miss Uganda UK, I literally 2 days later went straight back to school. I had campaigns working with the child sacrifice. I had the team with me, and I also had the second princess and the first princess, which were the second runner up and the first runner up, to kind of help me with things. I always carry a notebook around me. I can show you. So I have this notebook around me, and each day I write 5 things that I need to complete within the day. And I think that routine of just writing something down or just always noting things down to make sure that I get them done, it kind of made the process of balancing charity work and schoolwork and my social life 10 times easier.
Wow, that is amazing.
So, and also with the help of my family and friends as well. My family and friends, they help me for everything. So if I can call my friends and say, oh, can you do research on this, or can you tell me anything about this, or what's your view on this, and this, they can tell me straight away and they can help me. So I'm not all alone in this whole journey of charity work, as well as all the other things I'm doing.
Well, even with all the help you have, do you ever think that it becomes difficult?
Yes. I'll say a month into winning Miss Uganda UK, year 13 at that time, around October time, was really tough because you've got UCAS, you've got mock exams, you've got entry exams, you've got revision, you've got, you know, 3 A levels, you've got all that stuff whilst trying to balance, you know, pageant life. So it did come to the point where it was a bit overwhelming because one weekend I'll have an event on Saturday, and then the next day, Sunday, I'll feel so tired, but I have to go to the library, to come straight home, do more work. I'm exhausted. But as this was going on, I had to stop and say to myself, Caitlin, it's okay to say no to certain things. And that's why we have the second princess and the first princess. I could easily call them up and say, can you go to this event for me, because this weekend I want to dedicate these 2 days to schoolwork, you know, or like charity work, or just spend time by myself, because it did get kind of overwhelming for me a month into winning the title. So yeah, that was only short term, because I did really had to sit down with everyone and say, you know what, I can do this, but I can't do A, B, C, you know, all the other stuff. Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of the projects that you're involved in are based around activism, around awareness for other people. But what are some of the personal aspirations that you have for yourself?
So my personal aspiration at the moment is obviously to go to school, to go to uni and to study the law. I hope to become a successful person within the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system itself really does fascinate me. I feel like the law and the legal system itself really fascinates me, and the idea that one law can, can either make society or an individual happy or it can make them angry. It's the power of one law can change everything. So I really want to become a member within the whole system and just kind of help either community or an individual who feels like they can't speak, on about their issues within the system. I want to be that person that can be that extra voice for them, because there are people in society that feel like their voice is not enough to kind of get their point through, and I want to be that extra push for them and just kind of help the community with this platform of being a figure within the criminal justice system. So that's what I really want to do, and also work on just more charity work as well. Just because I have this crown and sash doesn't mean for only a year, doesn't mean that at the end of this year my charity work is going to finish. I really hope to carry on this charity work and just raise further awareness on girls in sport in Uganda, in this country, everywhere. I just hope to just do that and just carry on doing that.
Wow. So just before this interview started, you were speaking about the tragic death of George Floyd recently, and you were talking about the whole idea of the legal system. As a lawyer, do you think that you'll be able to make a change to those type of issues as well? Because we know that these problems are not just present in America, they're also present in the UK as well. So do you believe that with the position of a lawyer, you'll be able to change those things?
I hope to change how things are at the moment within the system when I do become a lawyer, and I do hope with the help of future lawyers, future politicians, future just the future generation as a whole. I feel like we can come together as a community and just change, because like you said before this interview, we are the future, we are the future generation, and we can't let this happen whilst we are working. We can't let this happen at all. It's kind of sad how, it's not even kind of sad, it's very sad how a man is killed because of the skin of his colour. And that has to change. That really has to change. That cannot be a valid reason as to why you feel like it's okay to kill someone. And for me, it's kind of shocking how in America, police, I think they're trained for a short period of time. I think it's 8 weeks into an academy without actually studying the law. Yet they're allowed to carry a badge, and a gun, and they just think, oh, I can do whatever I want. No, you can't. You can't. And I feel like with the police, whether it be in America or whether it be in the UK, they need to improve on how they educate the future police officers in terms of their training, and in terms of, just in general, their training needs to be changed. I just hope that with us as a community, we can just change that. Yeah.
Wow. That is very fantastic that you even have those visions, that you comprehend the complexity of the issues that are facing us as Black people and people in our community. Are there any other ways that you hope to achieve that? So in terms of how are you going to become a lawyer? Just university, or are you going to use your charity work in the future to raise awareness for these issues? On a broader perspective, how are you trying to make change?
So in terms of my career, obviously going to law school, to obviously become a qualified solicitor. And also lately I've been seeing the importance of networking. The power of networking and connecting with people who have the same visions as you is so powerful. If I can find 100 people who have the same vision as me, imagine us all coming together to kind of push an issue within society that needs to be changed or that needs to be advocated. So I feel like the power of networking and improving my network and just making appropriate connections to benefit our future, not just my future.
That is very impactful. Thank you for speaking to me today, Caitlin. So this is the end of our interview, and I feel myself that I've been inspired and motivated by you. So I hope our viewers feel the same way as well. Are there any last words you'd like to say?
To say to people, if you feel like you need to say something, whether you feel like you're going to make people uncomfortable, say it, because if people feel like they're uncomfortable with what you're saying, that means they either feel guilt or they know that there's an issue that needs to be addressed. So please do speak up on issues that you feel like need to be spoken about. And yeah, stay safe.
Wow.
And please educate yourself.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.